Today,
game, Joe Misiti, that's a very, very satisfying win for Essendon.
Yeah, it sure is. But a disappointing loss last week. You could blame the injuries and whatever, but we knew this week we could bounce back, and as we showed them, we beat them by what, 5 goals, I think, in the end.
Yes, it was a very convincing win. Joe, interesting. Where do you play? What position do you play on the ground?
I play anywhere Shirty puts me. I'm just happy to get a game.
Yeah, appreciate it. But do you play off the half-back line? Is that like a sweeping role?
Yeah, no, I just play off the half-back line. Just
right.
Pick up a man, and when I think I'm going to win the ball, I'll go out and try and get it myself.
Okay, now, would you have centred around a particular part of the game where you felt as though you were getting on top? You kicked 6 goals in the second term, and that created the gap. Would you reckon that may have been the period?
I didn't think the game was won until, about the 20-minute mark last quarter, because, the Eagles have got a strong, they can fight back, as they've shown in past games, so I didn't think the game was safe until the 20-minute mark, 25-minute mark of the last quarter.
Right, you haven't played a lot of football with Essendon, but is that the best game you've seen Somerville play?
Yeah, he played very well.
Terrific, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah,
he's a much a maligned player, in that he probably plays in the shadow of Salmon, but today he really came into his own.
He's very underrated, but all the people at Essendon know how good a player he is.
Well, good luck to you. Stick together, because there's still two more games to win, isn't there?
Yep.
Good luck. You played a terrific game today. Well done, Joe.
Thank you.
Just 18 years of age, Joe Misiti, playing in his second finals match today, and he was one of the very best for Essendon. They had a lot of good players again today, in a crowd of over 70
points. And as Jim Wilson reports, the Eagles supporters were well outnumbered.
yesterday we had to endure a flock of crows, but today the Eagles failed to land at the MCG as Essendon fans turned up in their thousands.
What really annoys you about them? The way they look, the way they play, everything.
There's one chap walking along with a Eagles scarf on. I said to him, "You're very brave."
I reckon West Coast can win because Essendon's got the crowd and all that.
And in a rare show of unity, fans from other Melbourne-based clubs joined forces with the Bombers in ganging up on the Premiers.
I'll actually back for Collingwood to say. It's the first time I've ever put on an Essendon football jumper just to see Eagles lose.
For those few Wiggles who came across, the fact they were a minority didn't seem to be of concern. Just after midday, the Premiers arrived at the ground and were given a low-key reception, while inside, the stands were a sea of red and black. The daunting prospect of an all-interstate grand final was put to rest yesterday by Carlton. Now the winner of today's game will meet Adelaide next week for the right to play the Blues in the big one. And what about the Crows fans who snubbed their side last night in Adelaide? They were expecting thousands at the airport, but only 400 turned up. And detectives are still investigating a serious post-match brawl between Adelaide and Carlton supporters, during which a Blues fan was knocked unconscious. Police were pushed and shoved during the melee, involving up to a dozen people. An ambulance crew took the injured man to hospital, where he's treated for minor injuries. Jim Wilson, 7 Nightly News.
And after the break, we meet some of Paul Keating's Irish relatives.
The Bombers led by 32 points at half-time, and in the end won by the same margin. Paul